All right, welcome to our second feature match of the week here for Pioneer Masters. We got Nick L here playing against Chris York, our league founder and all that. And looks like Nick's taking a mulligan here, and the second hand is not looking too great. What's York got over there?
York was on the instant mulligan, zero lander, his first draw. Looks like it's a Sultai build. We got a
Okay.
keepable hand after a mulligan, so now we're on three lands
Yes.
and some typical black green. It looks like it's base black green and splashing blue, if I had to guess.
Okay. Yeah. Nick's got all sorts of colors. He's got so in hand he's got a Davriel Rogue Shadow Mage, which is the 3 mana Planeswalker from War of the Spark. So if he lands that early, that could disrupt York's hand a good amount. He's got an Audacity, Leaf Crown Dryad, a Swamp, and a Plains, and I believe he does have some. I saw at least one blue card in his one of his hands that he mulliganed. But he did have to go to 5 here. He got double
Chris has
skeleton here.
nearly played out his entire hand here. Got the Nyx Weaver coming in. We got two drops left in hand, so really almost out of gas over on this side.
Yeah, so interesting to see what Nick wants to do. He's drawn up Nixos' Cruelty, which he may just use right away just to get this spider off the board, because in later turns, the spider just with mana left up will be able to get something back.
Yep.
He's got a card from War of the Spark that I guess would qualify as my boy here with the Tithe Bearer Giant. It's a 6 drop
Oh
blue card that
yes.
draws a card. So yeah, I'm a
I
fan of
also
all
got one of
those.
those for my pool.
Ooh, I
Good
mean,
card.
yeah, I think I mean I like it. I don't know how it holds up in 2024, but you know,
Yeah.
in Pioneer Masters we're not really playing with 2024 cards, so seems good. Oh, Zulaport
Bean.
Cutthroat here could be annoying. Yeah, so one
Are
thing
we
I've
going to see it?
noticed, even just from the last match and from the few games I've watched and played in, there's been a lot of mulligans because people are
Yeah.
stretching their mana uh, more than usual, I would say. Here's a Trusted Pegasus. So it looks like Nick's got, I think I saw he's at 2-2, so he's got 2 losses, but we've already seen 3 War of the Spark cards here, and pretty decent ones.
Wow, that's a huge. We've milled five
Oh,
cards now, and they're all spells, no lands. We're stuck on three lands. So
oh, this Unflinching Courage he just drew is going to be a bit of a problem if York doesn't have a removal. You could just strap this on the Pegasus and go to town.
we have no removal over here.
Yeah, so it seems like a pretty safe bet to just put this on. Okay, he's going to put on the Leaf Crown Dryad. Interesting.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah,
I
it
guess he
gets airborne.
figures, my opponent's going to want to kill whatever it's on, so I'd rather have my Trusted Pegasus left over after the dust settles.
Yeah, that's clever.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously like unraceable. Six damage with 4 life gain versus 4 damage on the other side. So
So Chris's decision to make right now is whether he plays out the Leaf Crown Dryad that he has, or if he holds it to use as an aura. Looks like it's just going to come down now.
I mean,
We
if
do the other card is a Nessian Asp, which is a 5 mana,
that's a good
I
one.
believe, reach snake.
Yeah, it's 4/5
So
reach, and for 7 mana, you could put a bunch of counters on it. I mean, playing the Leaf Crown Dryad here does actually stop
the Pegasus.
the Pegasus. He is just going to get rid of that Asp here, and he's going to say if he wants to throw a creature away to kill Davriel, that's fine. Yeah, this was a card I really really liked back in War of the Spark. So, and I think it is strong here.
Ooh, so now we've drawn a Fell Stinger,
Ooh, okay.
which I think. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he wants this
Huh.
Davriel gone, so he says I'll put a skeleton in the graveyard to do that.
Huh.
Nick doesn't even bother blocking the skeleton. I guess he doesn't want the Zulaport trigger, perhaps. But
Well, and it's also just nearly lethal at this point. Like he'll have six in the air with no reach blocker anymore. No, no. If Chris targets himself, it's just lethal here.
Yeah. I mean, it's on
Again, it's
board,
not
but
lethal because he'll gain the one.
I mean, is he realizing that he may be lethaling himself if he targets himself? Well, no,
I think.
he'll gain one, right?
Yeah, he gets the Zulaport trigger to keep
He'll
him
be at
alive.
7, but there's an audacity in hand, so
That's it.
that'll wrap that up here for Nick. Just yeah, I mean, mulligan to 5 versus mulligan to 6. They both got stuck on lands, but had plays to make, and you know,
Oh, does this change anything? We've got no, no reach.
no, he's got the audacity here, so tapped out, safe to apply, and fly his way to a victory here in the first game. So a quick back and forth game here with some mulligans, and but you know they both had a bunch of early plays. Just this unflinching courage just swings things very drastically here for Nick. So he is playing an Abzan deck, but also playing two Progenitor Mimics. So yeah, four color deck all across the board. But I mean, we did see he does have a lot of War of the Spark cards here. Like he has a
Hmm.
plane wide celebration as well. That
Oh yes,
7 drop that can do a bunch of different
Evan.
things.
Yeah. Well, we didn't spend much time sideboarding over here, so we've already queued into the next one. I don't think any changes.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, maybe he wants to keep his blue to a minimum, but I'm surprised he's not running Urban Evolution. Like he has a bunch of stuff that costs 6 mana, so figure you might want the Urban Evolution here, but just in general, not saying in this matchup specifically, but yeah, I think he added in another 2/2 just to see that he saw a bunch of early idiots, so he said let me put in a 2/2. But other than that,
All
yeah,
right, a good keepable hand over here.
we're heading straight back to Mulligan land here, and this hand is quite quite bad as well. He may have
I
to
have to
keep
say,
it, but
no, that's bad.
it's,
Yeah, I think Chris's attacks were just too aggressive there. Looking back on the end of that game, attacking in the face of the 4/4 that was coming at you, and then attacking again with the reach creature. I just don't think you can expect to live through that, and you can't race anyway. Like I'm not sure why you make those attacks.
yeah. I mean, he was trying to kill the Davriel
Yeah,
because he said I'm going
the
to drop
turn
mana
before,
for
I
the rest of
mean,
the game. Oh, yeah,
he sent the whole squad the turn before. But yeah, the
uh,
Davriel I see, but still you got to hold back the reach creature, I think, to
yeah. It
stop the
was
Pegasus.
tough call there. So we see Nick's hand not very exciting here. Two cards he can't cast currently because of the mana situation. What's going on with York's hand?
Yeah, we're just paring it down. Looks like a Dryad. I don't know, he's gonna drop two swamps,
Okay,
I think, to keep four.
yeah. Unfortunately,
We
nothing
have
here.
we have a Bloom Hulk, a Fell Stinger, Goreclaw,
Okay.
and a Leaf Crown Dryad. So all gas.
Yeah, so the problem with Nick's hand is primarily that he's missing his two of his three main colors. So he's got the blue, which he's only playing. He only has two blue cards, but he's missing white and green. So his draws are just potentially going to be disastrous. Like last turn, he drew a Savage Punch. He already has two white cards in hand that he can't cast, and now he's trying to play White Celebration. So
Oh no.
yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of games lost to bad mana already in week one, even though I haven't seen that many games. Speaking from my own
So
experience, I've
Goreclaw
already
makes
lost games for due to bad mana. So what can you do?
Goreclaw makes the Bloom Hulk into a 2 drop,
I mean, we take those.
which seems pretty reasonable.
I think a 2 mana 4/4.
Uh,
Sure.
could then play the
So
Dryad
yeah, so Nick
as
is
well.
extremely hard up here, so that's why he's. It's not really even a good chump block, but he gets to get back his Pilgrim Eye from the graveyard that got milled.
Yeah, Chris can double spell here between the Bloom Hulk and the Leaf Crown Dryad.
Yeah, this is gonna be a
Oh
tough
no, he
one.
can't. There's no second green source. I'm
Yeah,
mistaken.
this is still gonna be a rough one here. He has drawn the up Nixilis' cruelty, which he may need to cast out of necessity, denying himself his land. I mean, he has the Pilgrim's Eye, but 3 mana is a lot for a land drop. Yeah, so
Yeah, we're
I don't know how
back.
many planeswalkers York has, but Oath of Jace on its face is like pretty bad rate for what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, in week one,
Oh,
you just
interesting.
throw in a few cards and do what you can with them.
This is a very aggressive move. We could have double spelled with the Satyr and the Fellstinger, but instead we've got the Aura.
Yeah, he said,
It's going to get
let me get
chumped,
in my beats
presumably.
now.
The worst thing about the Oath of Jace is that trigger every turn.
It's like, wow, I wish I could do something. Yeah, the oaths were. I mean, they were rares back in their day, which is just like such. Like you didn't really want to open any of them in draft, except for I think it was Oath of Chandra that just did 3 damage to a creature for 2 mana, which is obviously good. The rest of them were all like kind of junk. Yeah, so York's gonna refill his hand a little bit here.
Looks good too. Just straight gas. Soul Flare, Possess Scab. We
Okay,
also have a Colney Ambush, which we could have used to push 6 damage there, although not totally well used on a 1/1. But
all right. So Nick does have access to his stasis snare now. He could also just cast Heliod's Pilgrim and Imperious Oligarch, or he could get.
or use the Pilgrim presumably to get. Oh,
No, he
interesting.
doesn't. He doesn't have a compulsory rest. He just has Audacity and the Unflinching Courage.
Oh, we just got the cruelty over here.
Mm.
Seeing that aura, you've got to be tempted to hold up the cruelty.
Yeah, the lifelink is potentially a way for Nick to get back in this game. So denying that seems more important than basically anything else here.
To double spell, he would have to cast the ambush. There's nothing really to target with it, though.
Yeah, he's just gonna block here. He's gonna leave open his mana. Makes sense. So now
Yeah, I
putting
think
this
you got to
unflinching
do it.
courage is like extremely. Yeah, Nick says I just can't, and he still has two uncastable green cards in hand here. So he has drawn planes, and like back to back turns before this one, just to allow him to cast more spells.
Yeah, so Chris sees there's no forest coming.
Okay.
This could be lethal if there's no
Yeah, we
interaction.
got the stasis snare here, which is that the instant speed Oblivion Ring type card. Yeah, so he can activate his land here. I mean, he's still going to get him to 5, so it's not looking too hot here in this game for Nick. So
The Soul Flare can be delved out.
yeah, might as well. I don't know if he has keyword creatures in his graveyard, but I mean, no, Gorklaw got exiled, so I guess it'll just be a cheap 4/4. Yep, just a cheap 4/4. Trusted Pegasus off the
Yeah.
top here, not gonna be of much help. Well, he's got to scry 0 every turn. That's that's the extent of the Oath of Jace.
Is this lethal? I don't think so because I don't think he can activate the. Oh no, yeah. If he just uses the ambush, if there's no interaction available,
Which ambush is it?
the Colney ambush,
Okay,
it's
the
the
white spell. Yeah,
MDFC. Yeah.
he didn't have enough green to activate the land, but he has enough mana to do this. Yeah, so
No, 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 no. We were trying to activate the land anyway. I think he was going to, but he was saved by the concession.
what he was going to do was just going to tap the land to activate itself. Just
Yeah,
just because he can,
possibly just as a flex.
just because he can. Sometimes you just do things because he can, because it's cool, even though that wasn't
Once
that cool.
again, no sideboard at all over here. Didn't see any
I mean, week one, I feel
uh
you. I feel you. And week one, you're just like, ah. I have a couple cards in my
queuing in.
sideboard. I have like Unravel the Ethers in my sideboard that I could bring in for me. But yeah, week one is a very
Tough call here
famously
for Chris.
no sideboarding.
Chris
He's
has
got
kept a two lander, so
oh
he's got his green and black, but no castable spells. Although he just drew a Leaf Crown Dryad, so he will be able to cast that.
yeah. I hate keeping hands where I can literally cast zero spells.
I know. I think it was the right call here, but especially week one. But we'll see. He can now cast the Audacity that he has in hand
Yeah.
if his creature survives.
So Nick has a choice here of if he wants to just go for the unflinching courage and start absolutely forcing the issue. Okay, he says no. So he's going to cast nothing instead. He's got a Woodland Wanderer in hand, which is that rare that you can. It gets counters for the amount of colors you've spent, and it's a 4 mana 2/2.
Right.
So based on his mana right now, it'll be a 4 mana 4/4 Vigilance. I believe it's Vigilance Trample. Interesting that he didn't go for the Unflinching Courage. He may be tempted to do it. No, he's drawn a Fleecemane Lion as well, so that would be something that perhaps later in the game you could
Oh,
monstrous and then put the aura on for the real beats.
right. He must be saving it.
Yeah,
So,
well,
oh,
once
we
he
drew
didn't
a
play it
third
last
land.
turn, once he didn't play it last turn, I think it was basically going to be saved for later because he has his
So
next
we
card
might
plays lined up.
might see a hornet's nest come down here.
Hornet's Nest would be quite a problem, I would say. Yeah, have you played much with or against the Hornet's Nest at all? Because I have thoughts about it.
Yeah, I've had it come down against me and just totally shut me down before.
Yeah,
Pretty obnoxious.
yeah, I'm not like a fan of these cards. Just literally like they just slow the game to a halt. Like that's all they do. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't actually progress you in any way at all. It just slows the game to a halt. I mean, look, it's a good card. Can't say it's bad, but it's just like I just don't like the design of a card that just sits in
yeah.
play, doesn't actually move you forward. And Nick
Here we
says, you know
go.
what? I'm going to bite the bullet. It's fine. And I think this is kind of the way you have to approach this card because I've seen games that just got like too far into the abyss of just like the board got too wide and then opponent was able to to fight back because they didn't just throw the Hornet's Nest away. And
Yeah.
actually, one big advantage that of this, very very well spotted by Nick, is that because of the trample, opponent only got two insects because of trample.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I would not have known that interaction. I also saw that and was confused. Chris has no interaction here for the lion, which means the lion will be able to activate next turn.
yeah, and then he'll be able to strap unflinching courage on it, and it'll be more or less going to be really hard to get him from that point. I think he's just going to do it, and he has an audacity. So his two cards in hand are audacity and unflinching courage. So
This is the dream
we're going to see the magic of hexproof here today, and
and
indestructible.
indestructible. Also important.
What a card!
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
this.
clock right there.
Yeah, I mean
I'm not sure what you do.
with the unflinching courage, it's just going to be more or less game over here. So um, he didn't have the Fleecebane Lion in hand the turn where he decided to not do anything. So he says, "Okay, I've produced a blocker for it," and then Nick says, "Haha, very funny." York just yeah, York says he's like, "Really?" I mean, this is kind
Oh
of
my.
like the green white experience sometimes in draft, right? They just load up their auras on a Fleecebane Lion, and you're helpless.
I haven't seen that since the first week of the draft format. I haven't seen anyone pull off any of this shenanigans.
Yeah, it's not something I've come across very much, but yeah, there's a lot of auras, and this Fleecebane Lion is a card in the set, so this is a thing that you are capable of doing, and I agree with
The
Declan.
law
He
rune
should just
enforcer here by the way, is just the kick in the teeth.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just like, well, you can't even pretend to block. Yeah, Lawrun Enforcer, another card from War of the Spark. Like we're seeing a lot of impactful cards from War of the Spark just in the couple feature matches that we've seen. So I think it was right on the money as far as like a set that can shake things up, but isn't like overly powerful, but is still like strong.
yeah, we haven't seen the planeswalkers too much yet, though.
Yeah,
Once
well,
we start seeing those,
yeah, we saw
we may
Davriel,
reassess.
but that's not like a bomb one. That was just a strong uncommon.
Yeah,
Yeah, Lawrun Enforcer I thought was a cool design back in its time, just because
yeah,
it had the downside of not being able to tap the amass creatures, but it had the upside of not having to enter tapper wars with each other with opposing Lawrun
yeah.
Enforcers. So nice little design card there. Yeah. So what are York's options exactly aside from dying?
Chump.
Chump with the Nessie and Asp, I guess.
Yeah, that's really about it.
Yeah, Nick says I was gonna throw everything here. I don't know what you can have for 2 mana. He's gonna take one trample here, and then he has to. It's gonna take three trample from the woodland.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
I
rough
don't
one.
think there's
Yeah, I mean, look, hexproof is people have thoughts about whether the game really needs stuff like hexproof, but here we see it prevail. Fleecebane Lion suited up with a couple auras, ending the game at 34 life. So congratulations to Nick for the win here, and we'll be back in a little bit for our final match of the week.